My apologies. I have never done this on my own. Dr. Ashton is normally the lead on these things. Thank you. So, Dr. Chris and I have worked together in Canada for over the past 20 years, over a decade specializing in healthcare finance and administration. In that time frame, we completed approximately 60 projects as consultants. We worked with large and small government and non-government organizations and gained experience through a number of healthcare improvement issues. From the Atlantic to the Pacific to the Arctic Oceans, we found that the rising tide of mental health issues and addiction were the least talked about and seemingly had few new solutions to meet today's social realities. As part of our consultancy, we were commissioned to advise the government of New Brunswick regarding best practices that could be adopted by the province in residential care for people with addictions. A comprehensive attempt to discern best practices found scant, reliable studies regarding program descriptions and outcomes. Best success rates, meaning staying abstinent for 1 year, were about 20%, as reported by the literature. There seemed to be two major categories of programs: 12-step recovery and cognitive behavioral approaches. Addiction in Canada remains a conundrum, with multiple approaches being tried over the past 20 years, seemingly without definitive population-based results. At the same time, since approximately 2010, the neurobiological nature of addiction, is an exceptionally promising and emerging area of research. While the findings are very illuminating, translation of this science into rehabilitation and counseling programs is taking time. Thus far, there is not a great deal of reports or evidence regarding this potential approach. What we call neurocounseling and one-step neurorehab remains novel. We have been refining this program for the past 6 years and have full confidence and some of our own evidence that the vast majority of our 30-day clients will proceed into long-term recovery and move definitively forward in a new healthy life. So addiction still remains a condition for which there are multiple theories regarding its nature. Is it spiritual? Is it a lack of willpower? Is it even real or just a social anomaly? The uncertainty amidst a vast number of opinions that are frequently defended makes addiction an even greater condition to treat. The deadliness of addiction also makes adopting a new approach a potentially high-risk endeavor. After many years of research and convinced of the underlying characteristic neurobiology of addiction, matching the characteristic life trajectory of persons who become addicted to a substance, we endeavored to launch a novel program based on the neuroscience of addiction and safe approaches to accelerating recovery in the short period of 30 days. It was our belief when people understood what the changes in the brain were that led to the terrible state of addiction, without inner knowledge of it happening, people would see their way out of addiction permanently. In terms of the ever-present question of whether people have a choice in becoming addicted, we state that there is not informed choice. Just say no isn't working, especially given the increasing access at younger and younger ages to more potent substances. Our goal is to educate, create a true state of being mindful, restoring brain and body health. We restore choice, informed choice for the first time for the vast majority of our clients. Fortunately, the statistics are on our side. Most people at some point do finally recover from addiction. We aim to accelerate that process and reduce the devastating times suffered by addicted persons and their loved ones when a person is actively addicted. While longer-term comprehensive studies using neuroimaging techniques are sparse, it is generally accepted that brain scans of addicted persons return to neurotypical within 2 years. In our work over 6 years, not only do the vast majority recover, but neuropsychological testing also goes from sub-average to above average scores on retest at 30 days. Given the evidence of neuroplasticity and the innate human's will to survive, addiction presents as an incredibly difficult part of life's journey, but not a condition from which one can fully recover as the authentic self. We are logical. First, in aberrancies, why not treat those deficits specifically? It's a challenge knowing that we generally only have 30 days to treat a condition that takes up to 2 years to fully recover from. With that constraint, our efforts are truly focused on accelerating positive change in the neural circuits that dominate addiction. As my partner, Dr. Chris Ashton, has explained in Global Journals of Medical Research, this past spring, due to the neurobiological changes that happen with addictive substances, the choice of whether to consume substances or not disappears. The hijacking of the reward and anti-reward systems becomes so complete that willpower is virtually irrelevant. People cannot stay stopped for a certain period of time simply because biology is dictating otherwise. We facilitate changing that biology. While the neuroscience of addiction is as complex as science gets, we aim to treat the major deficits in substance use disorder. Cognitive function is characteristically maladapted through progressive hypofunction of the prefrontal cortex. This is seen in all severely addicted persons, and there are suggestions in the literature that pre-existing prefrontal deficits may be a risk factor for developing SUD. People come to us malnutritioned and physically unwell. Improving the body function promotes all systems functioning as well as healthy feedback to the brain. We know that each person who presents to our program has a Jekyll, authentic self and healthy neurons, and an intelligent and patient Mr. Hyde, the maladapted neurons as a result of addiction. We do not find it helpful to focus on the terrible things that Mr. Hyde has done. Our program is voluntary, and we do not see any scientific benefit in re-stimulating maladapted neural networks that are trying to see diminish in strength. Finally, neuroscience is clear on this. Physiological stress is both a partner in developing addiction, stalling healthy neuroplasticity, and lending to relapse. Stress reduction during and after our program are priorities for us. Briefly, as shown in the slide, complements of Harvard Medical School, prefrontal cortex deficits are striking. Loss of cognitive control invariably creates impulsive decision-making and behaviors. To make matters worse, there is evidence that the attention focus function of the PFC becomes biased towards anything to do with substances. The following is an example of what we typically see on admission to our program. Lower than average results on neuropsych testing could almost be considered diagnostic, regardless of profession, of education levels of clients. The scoring initially is invariably the same below average profile. Fortunately, and we look for this, scores normalize on reset at 30 days. In order to reactivate prefrontal cortex regulatory function over emotional centers, we also do daily EEG-guided neurofeedback relaxation exercise. It's something our clients enjoy doing. They get a score each time and are able to see the level of relaxation they achieve with each session. Results have been simply wonderful. We see a dramatic reduction in emotional crisis situations and far fewer episodes of persons wanting to leave the program between 10 and 14 days. This used to be a time of greater vigilance for us, as we had numerous people want to abruptly leave the program prior to performing this exercise. Now it's just a couple of days of feeling out of sorts for people, and we have a reason why: temporary hyperactivation of the stress system. As shown here, we virtually always see this abrupt increase in activation levels on EEG after the first week. It doesn't seem to make a difference whether people had a good day prior or not. It just happens. And equally quickly, after 2 days, the scores return to previous or even less active and more calm levels, which continues throughout the rest of their stay with us. Psychoeducation and challenge is a huge part of what we do at TEDS on Chapel. We have a 30-day abbreviated program on what addiction is, how it develops, and how to recover, and known challenges along the way. While based on rigorous neuroscience, we teach it to all clients at our pace, at their own pace, regardless of education level. Clients find it fascinating, and it unlocks the door to the answers to many questions which have been burning inside them often for years. I may have to take my glasses off for this. So many of our clients have an interest in sports in their lives, which was sacrificed as part of the addiction process. 6 days per week for approximately 1 hour, we have clients participate in a progressive, high-intensity boxercise aerobic and skills class. They love it and leave our program physically very fit, which helps their self-esteem greatly. From a neurobiological standpoint, blood flow to the brain increases by 100%, 100s%, which of course promotes healing. Through our program, people rediscover their athletic self. One of major strengths is addressing people's problems that exist in the now. Simply put, we start at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy and help clients find workable solutions that they can take forward. The goal, of course, is overall well-being. The scientific evidence clearly names stress as the major cause of relapse. We do our best to reduce clients' stress load on leaving our program by solving problems with them while they're with us and can safely face stressful situations. We acknowledge that there is a strong vulnerability to relapse, particularly in the first 90 days of recovery, as well as detailed calendar planning. We also ensure regular follow-up with a counselor, community group, or our center. And I hope I didn't go too quickly. Thank you very much.